It's marathon season. If you're new here, my name's Demi and I'm a trail runner. But for the next 6 weeks, I'm trading trails for road and completing my first ever marathon here in Canberra on April 12th. In this mini-series, I'll document key sessions, nutrition and recovery, which will all hopefully get me to my goal of completing my first ever marathon in sub 3 hours. So you might be all thinking, that's cool, Demi, but what's your plan? So I've come up with 3 things that I'm gonna incorporate into my training to help me achieve this goal. The surface. So being a trail runner, I do lots of my running on soft surface, which is pretty low impact on the body. So if I'm wanting to complete a sub 3 hour marathon, I'm gonna need to swap maybe half of my training out to be running on either footpath or road. Speed. So ultra running focuses a lot on endurance, whereas a sub 3 hour marathon, I'm going to need to do a lot more speed work. So this will mean adding in track sessions to increase my VO2 max. Mindset. So if you're a trail runner, you know that being out on the trails, there's so many things to distract you. Animals, elevation changes, things to trip on. So if I want to complete a sub 3 hour marathon, I'm really going to need to change my mindset, have a different perspective, and be mentally tough when it's getting hard. So let's get into week 1 of marathon prep. Okay, it's Wednesday and it's literally been raining for 3 days straight. So yesterday I was meant to go and do a track session as a group that goes up to Woden on Tuesday mornings. And it was all going ahead, and then late Monday night they called it off. They did a little drive-by past the track and turns out it was flooded. So ended up just doing the same session but around the lake. The session was a 15-minute warm-up, then it was a mile, so 1.6 Ks at kind of just below threshold. So I just held around 4-minute pace. And then I went into 2 sets of 6 by 90 seconds at 5K to 10K pace, and then 30 seconds off. And then I just broke up those sets with a 2-minute rest in between. It was quite good where I live. The lake's about a 6-kilometer loop. So I made it all the way around. And then by the time I started that second set, I just turned around and ran back the opposite way. And finished up with 14 Ks right at the door. So coming into today, I have an aerobic run of an hour. So there's some really nice trails that I'll usually try to get out to, which is like I run 10 minutes on a footpath and then get into the trails and can kind of run those for as long as I want. But because it's so wet, I think they're going to be pretty slippery. So I'm potentially just going to run around the lake again. New shoes. These are the New Balance Ellipse. And just super spongy. Great for easy runs. Hey. I ended up buying a new heart rate strap. So this is the Garmin 200. So just super basic model. Cost about $150. These heart rate straps, the chest ones, they just give a better reading than the arm ones. I have had issues before with it being like quite restrictive and getting a bit of chafe, but I think they're things that I can manage. Could just be me getting older, but I find just doing some kind of activation before I start running makes such a huge difference. If I don't do anything, I'm like literally limping like an 80-year-old for the first 5 minutes. Like my knees and my ankles get so locked up. So prioritizing mobility over, say, like stretching, so things like glute bridges, calf raises, and crab walks are all things that I just find warm my body up, ready to run. I was meant to do gym yesterday afternoon, but I got home from work at 6 o'clock and was just like, nah. So I got the day off today and I was going to go this morning. It's currently 6 a.m. I'm just really tossing up whether to go or not. So I've had 2 weeks off the gym and just starting to get back into it. And it just feels like that week where it's like, oh, 1 more week doesn't matter. I'm like really tempted to just do an hour of yoga and like stretch out my body that way. But at the same time, I'm like, I should really go and get to the gym. The main reason I'm putting it off is because there's a 5K track night on tomorrow night. It's a local event and they're basically just running different heats, people running through 5Ks at one of the tracks here. And it's definitely not something where I'm wanting to go out super hard or anything like that, but at the same time, I also don't want to be really, really sore going into it, especially running like a hard effort. Pulling muscles and things like that is probably more likely. Well, these are all the things I'm telling myself anyway to get out of going to the gym. I can pretty much get through all the movements at home. So I've got like resistance bands, I've got a 10-kilo weight. And then the main things I'd really be going for would just be weighted calf raises and then leg press too. So it just seems like a long way to go just for those two things. All right, 30 minutes of yoga, a little bit of resistance training. That'll be me. He's like, got like high fatigue and stuff. Dog, hold there, spread the fingers wide, take an inhale, stretch back deep in. Then on an exhale, go ahead and walk your feet all the way forward to the top of the mat. Flat back, long inhale, create some lean. All right, Friday today, and I've just got back from our second Super Blast 3 launch that we've had at the shop. So I started working at the running company about a month ago. I was listening to the Inside Running podcast. Julian mentioned they were opening up a store in Fishwick. So I was like, amazing, sounds fantastic. I was looking for a new job, hit them up, and yeah, basically the store's been open for about 3 weeks now. It's actually super cool. Like, I haven't worked in retail in such a long time, but just getting to like be in the shop, talk about shoes, chat to people about their training, their racing, or even just answering questions about running. It's honestly so chill. And then one of the services that the running company offers is they do like a run analysis. At the back of the shop, we've got some treadmills. It's got a program called Motion Metrics, and basically we've got some force plates in the deck of the treadmill. We've got some 3D cameras, and then we've also got like a TV screen. So what we'll generally do is we'll get people up onto the treadmills. So this is usually when you're tossing up between like choosing shoes that you're wanting to buy, or maybe you've got an injury and looking for a shoe that might help in your recovery. But yeah, we'll take you out the back. First we'll get you running in like your normal pair of runners, and the 3D cameras will actually pick up some imaging, so it'll give us good numbers on things like whether you're pronating, whether you're supinating, so like rolling in or out in your shoes, and then kind of like how your knees track as well. So what we do, run through all the shoes, and then we can kind of compare the numbers. Like, some people need a stability shoe, which basically means the shoe's got some reinforced foam either on the inside edge of the shoe or the outside, or some people just need a neutral shoe. Their foot moves in a pretty natural way already, they're not getting any injuries, so we can just kind of roll through the options from there. But then yeah, it also just gives you the chance to like actually run in the shoes that you're wanting to purchase, instead of just jumping online, looking at a shoe and going like, oh, they look pretty nice, I'll get those, getting them and then them not feeling right. So getting that like reassurance, because you are spending quite a bit of money, so you're spending the money but you're also getting a product that you know that's going to work for you. But yeah, so last night we had the first Super Blast 3 launch. So we had Sam come down in the ASICS van, and he bought up a whole heap of wear test shoes. So we had the Super Blast 3s, and then we had some Mega Blast, and then we also had the Meta Speeds. And yeah, basically just found a 5K loop. Last night we did 2.5Ks because it was quite hot, so a few people dropped off on the first one, and then this morning we just did a 5K loop around Fishwick. Fishwick's like pretty industrial area, so all of the focus went into the shoes. Last night had about 30 people, so that was really, really good. Everyone like hung out after the run. We had some sushi and some drinks, and yeah, just gave everyone the chance to see the shop. It's really good. Each brand's got its own little section, so it makes it nice and easy to navigate. Got a big nutrition bar on the back wall. We got nice big change rooms. And yeah, just like a really cool place for everyone just to like come and chat about something that they love doing. This morning had a little bit of a smaller group, about 5 or 6 of us. So yeah, just found like a 5K loop around Fishwick, and we finished at Wildflower Bakery, picked up some coffees, some pastries, and then yeah, headed back to the shop and just hung out.
For environmental living zone, the property offers spacious, private lifestyle flexibility to make your own do.
So Chris and I are both racing at the track night tonight. We don't usually get to race on a track, or we've never raced on a track. So we're going to try Nomeo. It's meant to be a lactate buffer, so hopefully we just get tired or less sore later in the race. We won't really have anything to compare it to, but yeah, we'll see how they go. So the ingredients are broccoli sprouts, lemon, sugar. and that's it. I can't open it.
You meant to drink it all at once?
I don't know. Did you shake it?
It's not even bad.
It's quite nice.
I thought it was going to taste terrible. You spilled mascara all down your face.
Oh no. Is that?
That's quite nice. Tastes like a veggie
Like
smoothie
a green
thing.
smoothie, yeah. That's brown.
Almost like a juice from a juice shop. It's quite good. Broccoli sprouts.
There you go.
Is that normal sprouts?
We should have heat race number 3.
I won't give it a choice. You just tell LSK. LSK, they're going to do us a deal. That's what they're going to do. Are you? Oh.
I'm so glad you put that on. That's going to be on YouTube.
Yeah, what are your other hobbies?
I'm not talking anymore now. Probably can't put that on YouTube. Go, Demi.
Come on, team, hold on. It's going to hurt. Let's go. Keep it up.
Nice work. Go, go, go! Let's go! Good work, Crispy.
No faces.
I'm a podcaster. Our cameras are off.
That's our face on the podcast.
Oh, yeah. Oh, cool. How much do you train for it? Yeah.
6 minutes, 16 down. He has gapped the field.
It's 9:47 and I'm just doing a cool down at home with Coach. This might be my new favourite time to run. Come on. Okay, sit. Middle. Coach, middle. Come on. Where are you? Middle? There he is. So I ended up running a 17:40 and yeah, first time I've ever raced on a track, which was pretty cool. Felt good for the first half, and then the last 4 laps really started to hurt, but yeah, just tried to stay on the front. There was like 4 of us sitting on the pacer, and yeah, it's just a bit of fun. Christian ran a 17:05, but yeah, just a really cool experience and keen to do some more of it.
Here we go, get in here, Dad. Gonna quick video. Let's see it.
Is that on? No, I don't think it's on.
It is.
Okay, so this weekend was a big one. Saturday morning, I had a 2-hour long run and I was running on about 4 hours of sleep. So I just hit up some trails behind our house and took it pretty easy, and then ended up working, so from 10 till about 4 o'clock. Meanwhile, the boys went out and they started riding the Centenary Trail. So it's a 140 kilometre long trail that loops around and through Canberra. So Christian, his dad and his brother took out on this one. And yeah, I think they just ended up having beers all day by the looks of it. The trail's a good mix of like single track, wide fire trail, footpath, and just like bumpy grass. So you get a really good mix of everything. Super well signed. And Christian just had the GPX loaded up on his bike computer, so just ended up following that. Saturday, they got into It's just south of Hull at about 4 p.m. Went to a pub, and that's when I met them. So for context, when I stopped triathlon about a year and a bit ago, I sold all my bikes, and then a few months later, I just ended up buying a gravel bike because I just wanted something to be able to get around on. But I've probably ridden this bike maybe 3 or 4 times since then. But I also didn't want to miss out on just like having a day out on the trails, riding around. And yeah, it ended up being a heap of fun. I think honestly the hardest part for me was like my endurance is there, but just the way to actually ride a bike just isn't. So some of the trail was pretty technical. Like I found myself pretty confident on the climbs. I had good control of the bike. But then as soon as we started hitting any descents, I was just honestly like death gripping the handlebars, you know, touching the brakes, and I was just, yeah, I wasn't moving real fast. I didn't fall off, so that was a positive. We had Adrian come off one time because he's just super confident, and then Brocky ended up in the grass. But other than that, yeah, we kind of all finished the ride unscathed. I listen to a lot of running podcasts, and everyone's always talking about like Mulligan's Flats. It's, you know, a really cool place to run. It's gated. It's like a nature area. And we did end up riding through here, and yeah, it was honestly like as good as everyone said. So for the ride, ended up doing 76.46 kilometers. The actual riding time was 5 hours and 9 minutes and averaging 14.8 kilometers per hour with an elevation gain of 1,343 meters. Our total time was 7 hours 45. So basically that meant the stop time that we had was 2 hours 36. I was definitely flagging a little bit towards the back end of this ride. So we got to Ainsley and then we kind of rode through the city. We hit a lot of footpaths. By the time we were getting to like 10 Ks to go, I was ready to be home.
How you feeling, Dad?
Oh, great. When are we going to start?
Rocky?
Oh, perfect.
Nah.
No comment.
Oh.
Good job. Well done. Thank you.
Done.
Yeah. And that was actually long. I got 76.72. So
So bike fit.
Yeah.
Runs every week. It's mad.